welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are taking a really granular look at the architecture of human connection, how friendships actually start.
That's right. We're zeroing in on a very specific story, a narrative about this successful first proper meeting between two people, Anna and Sarah, who just met briefly.
Right. Anna's the listener who shared this. She's new in town, met Sarah at the market, and now she's taking that, really crucial step, trying to turn an acquaintance into a real friend.
Exactly. And we're not just recounting what happened. Our mission here is to sort of pull out the strategies, the conversational tactics, even the emotional intelligence bits they used. It seemed quite effective this one afternoon.
Yeah, it's almost like a playbook, isn't it? Not just how to make friends, but maybe how to accelerate trust. And it all kicks off with this piece of advice Anna gets from an older woman, Mrs. Green.
Ah, yes, the classic advice. Just be yourself, dear. Talk about your family, your hobbies, things you love.
And that's our roadmap, basically. That's what we're digging into today.
But that advice, just be yourself. That's where it gets interesting, I think. Is she really just being herself? Or is she perhaps more accurately strategically choosing and presenting the parts of herself most likely to connect?
That's a good point. Authenticity versus strategy.
Well, our deep dive suggests that while authenticity is the goal, maybe the execution is actually quite strategic, very intentional.
Okay, so we're watching two people quite consciously build something new here, a foundation for Anna in this new city. And it feels like every step counts, every word is chosen for maximum emotional impact. Let's start right at the beginning with the preparation.
Yeah, the prep starts, interestingly, way before they even talk. We see Anna walking to Sarah's place. She's got a gift, and she's running through this little internal checklist. It tells you a lot about managing the nerves of meeting someone new properly.
Okay, so Anna's mental list is, remember, smile, speak slowly, and listen carefully. Let's pause on that second one, speak slowly. Why is deliberately slowing down your speech so key right at the start?
Well, it's about cognitive load, really, for both people. When you're nervous, the tendency is to speed up, right? Talk fast.
Mm-hmm.
But that puts a massive burden on the listener. They're trying to process information quickly and read your nervous signals and think about their own reply. It's a lot.
Okay.
So by telling herself, speak slowly, Anna's actually creating a more balanced conversation. She's giving Sarah time to process, which feels respectful. It shows she's in control, too.
It also stops that thing where one person just dominates because they're talking 90 miles an hour. Slowing down is kind of like saying, hey, I'm actually comfortable waiting for you to think and respond properly.
Precisely. And then she pairs that with listen carefully. Now, active listening, we all know it's important, but here in this context, it's basically data gathering.
Data gathering. How so?
Well, Anna isn't just politely waiting her turn, she's actively collecting information. Sarah's reactions, what topics light her up, her emotional tone. It's all data she can potentially use later to build connections. As we'll see, she's pretty good at that.
Okay, interesting. So, moving from the internal thoughts to the external actions, she brings a small box of cookies, the gift of intention. It seems like a simple gesture, but what's the psychological weight of that in building this new relationship?
It immediately kicks in the principle of reciprocity. Even though Sarah hasn't really done anything yet to earn it, the gift acts as this little signal, a preemptive show of good faith, of investment.
So it's not about the cost of the cookies.
Not at all. It's about the effort. The fact that Anna thought ahead, prepared, or chose something that communicates, I value this meeting enough to put in some effort beforehand.
Right.
It smooths over that initial potential awkwardness, gives them an immediate shared focus. Sharing food is always good, and it subtly, encourages Sarah to reciprocate that effort, maybe through being a more attentive host or listening more deeply. It starts things off on a positive footing.
And Sarah's side of that equation, her hospitality, we see it instantly in the environment. Mm-hmm. Anna walks in and the script knights this bright room, sunlight, plants, books, family photos. The space itself is talking.
Oh, absolutely. And what's fascinating is how these visual cues reduce the need for Anna to ask basic questions. Before Sarah even talks much about her values, Anna's already got a pretty rich picture forming.
How so? What do those things suggest?
Well, the brightness, the plants, maybe cheerfulness, a nurturing side. The books suggest curiosity, maybe intellectual depth. And the family photos, that signals she's probably grounded, values long-term connections.
So even if Sarah was maybe a bit shy or slow to open up initially, her home acts as a kind of conversational buffer.
Exactly. It lets Anna start the conversation from a place of informed curiosity rather than just firing questions into the dark.
Makes the initial chat feel less like an interview.
Yes. The home's already made the first introduction. Sarah's values are kind of laid out, and Anna reacting positively to that space sets a really good tone right away. Okay, so the prep's done, the scene is set, now the conversation itself starts. And they seem to bypass a lot of the usual, maybe superficial, small talk. They dive straight into connecting through transition.
Right, Anna mentions her first week in the city being busy but exciting. That mixed stress, but also hope, feels very real, very relatable.
And Sarah jumps right on it. I know that feeling. When I came here, I felt the same. That's strategically brilliant, actually.
Why brilliant? Seems like a normal empathetic response.
It is empathetic, but it's more than just sympathy. It's validation through shared experience. Even a minor shared struggle, like the stress of moving, creates an instant bond. It's like transient shared trauma, if you will.
Right.
They immediately shift from strangers to people who've gone through the same thing.
Okay. So that shared experience, even if it was brief for both of them, gives the conversation an immediate weight, a depth.
Precisely. And from there, they slide naturally into origins and nostalgia. Talking about where they're from, Sarah's from a small town near the mountains.
And Anna responds positively. That sounds peaceful. Showing appreciation.
Exactly. And Sarah mentions visiting her parents there every few months. Anna shares her parents live in the countryside. This exchange about place, it's about identity, right? They're laying out their geographical roots, but also hinting at their family ties, their history. It's safe territory, but it carries emotional weight. It tells you who they were before they were these two people sitting in this room.
Which leads us nicely into mapping the family structure. And this is where, as you said earlier, the details really start to matter. Specificity.
Yes. Anna mentions her younger brother, Tom, plays guitar. Later, Sarah uses a photo album, which is a key move, very intimate, to introduce her younger sister, Lena. She's a student, and apparently people say they look alike.
Okay, so why are these specifics, the guitar, the look-alike sister, so important? Why not just say, I have a brother, or I have a sister?
Because specifics are memorable, they create conversational hooks. My brother Tom plays guitar. Okay, now Tom isn't just a vague sibling. He's a person with an interest. If later Anna wants to talk about creativity or practice, Tom's guitar is a ready-made connection point or analogy she could use.
Got it. So specificity makes the family members more tangible, easier to talk about later.
Exactly. It creates narrative potential. When Sarah mentions Lena looking like her, she's inviting Anna to observe, to maybe see those similarities in Sarah herself. It deepens the interaction.
It turns abstract relatives into actual characters you can sort of track in your mind.
Yes. Which is vital for sustaining a new friendship. The more detailed the initial picture, the easier it is to remember and refer back to later. It lowers the cognitive load of keeping this new relationship going.
And this whole section, sharing about family and origins, it builds towards the shared feeling, the emotional core. They both admit they miss their families.
And that's the vulnerability kicking in. It's intentional, I think. They're revealing something tender, that missing piece, their main support system, isn't physically there.
Which signals trust.
I trust. It validates the earlier point about relocation stress, and it builds mutual empathy. You learn that this new person has strong family values, feels connections deeply, experiences that sense of longing. It tells you they're capable of attachment.
And Sarah choosing that moment or soon after to bring out the photo album, that feels like a response to Anna's vulnerability, right? Like she's reciprocating the trust.
Absolutely. Sharing family photos is inherently intimate. It's showing your past, your roots, your people. It confirms that Anna's signal of trust was received and is being matched.
Okay, so they've established those roots, family, place,
Yeah.
Where do they go next? The conversation seems to shift gear.
Right. Into section 3. Hobbies as deep dive topics. This is a really important pivot, I think. They move from sort of passive identity, where they came from, to active identity, what they choose to do with their time now.
Why is that shift significant?
Because hobbies show you someone's self-directed priorities, their values and action. Family background tells you about stability, maybe. Hobbies tell you about current passions, emotional needs, what brings them joy or peace or maybe challenge right now. It's fertile ground because it's usually positive.
Okay, let's look at Sarah's hobbies first. Her creative pursuits. She mentions painting makes her happy and calm, but crucially, she doesn't just say it.
No, she shows it. She points out her paintings on the wall. This is the principle of show, don't just tell in action.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, if she just said, I enjoy painting, okay, that's a fact. But by having the paintings visible, she's providing actual, tangible evidence of her skill, her dedication, maybe even the emotional state it creates for her.
Which makes Anna's compliment, "You were very talented," feel more genuine.
Exactly. It's based on something real Anna can see, not just social politeness. It's authentic validation.
And this showing continues with lunch, right? We find out cooking is another hobby.
All right.
When Anna compliments the pasta, smells amazing.
Yes. This moves the interaction beyond just talking into a shared sensory experience. Smell, taste. These are powerful bonding agents.
It feels more intimate than just conversation.
It is. Sharing food is primal. Sarah preparing and serving a meal, it builds on the reciprocity started by Anna's cookies. It's an escalation of care, of investment. They're literally sharing nourishment, comfort. It embeds these positive sensory details right into the foundation of their connection.
Okay, so what about Anna's hobbies? Her quiet pleasures? She reads every night, loves stories about people and their dreams. What does that tell Sarah?
It suggests introspection, maybe ambition, an interest in human nature. It's a quieter passion than painting, perhaps, but still revealing.
And then she admits she likes singing, but adds, only when no one is listening. A bit of self-deprecating humor there.
Which is a brilliant little move. It's what you might call a vulnerability light moment.
Vulnerability light.
Yeah, she's sharing something slightly personal, maybe a tiny bit embarrassing, but the stakes are really low. It's a small risk that tests the waters.
Well,
how will Sarah react?
And presumably Sarah laughs or smiles.
Exactly. Which confirms for Anna that this is a safe space for mild vulnerability, for humor. It builds emotional trust through that shared chuckle.
And their shared love of books, Anna's stories, Sarah's travel books, that leads somewhere quite significant.
Yes, to the power of shared aspiration. They actually voice this idea. Maybe one day we can go somewhere together.
That sounds like more than just casual chat.
Oh, it is. That sentence, that's like the informal contract of a budding friendship. Acquaintances tend to talk about the past, things that have happened. Friends start planning, even dreaming about the future together.
So, voicing that shared fantasy, even if it's just a maybe, shifts the dynamic.
Absolutely. It signals mutual intent. They're not just two people having a nice afternoon anymore. They're potentially two people who might share future adventures. It implies commitment to keeping the connection going.
Okay, now we hit a moment that feels like it really accelerates things. The unexpected introductions. Sarah's cat, Snowy, makes an appearance.
Ah, the pet factor. This is often a super fast track to connection. Pets are just loaded emotional symbols, aren't they? Unconditional love, family, comfort.
And Anna reacts immediately, very warmly. Ah, she's so cute.
That's likely a genuine, unfiltered, positive emotional response. Think oxytocin release. It's a neurochemical signal of bonding happening right there. It bypasses the logical brain.
And that warmth seems to unlock something deeper in Anna. She shares a childhood memory.
Yes, about her kitten, Bella, who used to follow her everywhere. And then she adds that simple, poignant line, I still miss her.
Wow. That feels incredibly personal for a first proper meeting.
It's peak emotional fluency in this whole interaction, I think. Sharing a memory about a lost childhood pet that combines innocence, affection, and acknowledging loss. It's a huge offering of trust.
Why is that specific type of memory so powerful?
Because it taps into really fundamental forms of attachment and love. It instantly gives Sarah a glimpse into Anna's capacity for deep feeling, for loyalty qualities you definitely want in a friend. It connects them on an emotional level that goes way beyond just swapping facts about jobs or hometowns. It's resonance.
Okay, so they've hit this point of deep emotional resonance, especially after the cat story. Where does the relationship go from there? It seems to shift again towards support.
Exactly. Section 4 is all about mutual encouragement and the philosophy of learning. The friendship starts to become a tool almost for personal growth for Anna.
It starts with the language check-in. Sarah compliments Anna's English.
Yes, Sarah says, you speak English very well. And Anna's reply is interesting. It's honest, but humble. Thank you, but I still make mistakes.
That feels like a crucial exchange. Why?
Because it defines the safety level of the relationship. Sarah positions herself as an encourager, someone who notices effort. And Anna feels safe enough to admit her perceived imperfection, her ongoing struggle. It grounds their connection in reality, not just politeness.
And Sarah's response to the mistakes comment is key too.
Absolutely. She says, that's okay. Everyone learns step by step. She doesn't brush it off with a false, oh no, you're perfect. She acknowledges the reality learning takes time, but normalizes it. That creates a space where it's okay for Anna not to be perfect. That's fundamental for moving past technical worries into feeling emotionally secure.
And it's this feeling of safety, presumably, that allows Anna to come up with that really quite beautiful analogy later on.
Ah, yes. Connecting her learning struggle back to Sarah's passion, Anna says, yes, learning is like painting one color at a time.
Let's unpack that.
Yeah.
Why is that particular analogy so effective, so fluent emotionally?
Okay, well, first, it proves Anna was really listening earlier. She didn't just hear Sarah paints. She internalized it as part of Sarah's identity.
Mm-hmm.
Second, by choosing Sarah's world painting to describe her own challenge, Anna is doing several things at once. She's validating Sarah's hobby, showing it's significant enough to use as a metaphor. She's demonstrating some pretty sophisticated thinking herself. And crucially, she's equating her own vulnerable process learning English with Sarah's disciplined, creative process.
Wow. So it's like a compliment hidden inside a statement about her own struggle.
Exactly. It implies they share this understanding of how things are built or created, whether it's a painting or language skills, layer by layer, patiently.
And the metaphor itself, one color at a time, suggests patience, accepting that things look messy mid-process.
Precisely. It reframes Anna's language learning not as a pass-fail test, but as this ongoing creative project. And Sarah's response, beautifully said, Anna, confirms they've connected on this deeper metaphorical level. They get each other.
The impact of this seems quite strong because the topic of confidence comes up again later during their evening walk.
Yes, it shows it resonated. Anna actually asks Sarah how she stays confident, maybe thinking about her own language journey. It shifts the dynamic slightly towards coaching or mentorship.
And Sarah gives very practical advice.
Yeah, grounded advice. I practice every day. I don't worry about mistakes. I just speak. It takes the abstract fear Anna might be feeling and turns it into a simple, actionable habit. Practice. Don't obsess over errors.
It removes that pressure to be perfect right away.
Exactly. She's basically saying mistakes are part of the process, not roadblocks. And she finishes with that really motivating line.
The mantra. And remember, every word you say is one step forward.
Yeah. Just reinforcing that idea of small, consistent steps leading to progress. It confirms that Sarah is now, in Anna's eyes and in her actions, functioning as a source of real support and encouragement. Their relationship isn't just social anymore, it's become a defined support system. So as the day winds down, we see the friendship really solidify. This happens through what we can call shared rituals.
Right, we saw these building up. The cookies Anna brought, the lunch Sarah made, sharing that, and then looking through the photo album together.
These aren't just random activities. They're intentional moments that build shared history remarkably quickly.
How do they compress time like that?
Well, think about it. Eating together, looking at someone's family photos, these are quite intimate acts. They bypass weeks, maybe months of just casual chat by injecting these concentrated bursts of personal information and shared experience into just one afternoon.
Creating strong, positive memories right at the start.
Exactly. Memories they can implicitly refer back to. It gives the friendship a foundation to stand on.
And that foundation allows for another moment of deeper connection, emotional reassurance. Anna mentions missing her family again.
And Sarah's response is really supportive, very specific. Don't worry, you're building a new life here. You're doing great.
What's powerful about that particular phrasing?
She focuses on Anna's agency. You're building, and her success. You're doing great. She's not just offering sympathy like, oh, that's tough. She's actively validating Anna's effort and progress in this challenging situation.
And Anna's reaction shows it lands. Your words make me feel strong.
Yes. That confirms the friendship is now actively contributing to Anna's resilience, her psychological well-being. It's providing strength.
Then comes the evening walk, moving the interaction outside.
Which is a great final step for consolidation. They move from the focused conversation inside Sarah's home to just being together in a shared environment, appreciating something simple. It's beautiful, isn't it?
What does the walk signify?
It's often the litmus test for real comfort. Can you be together without needing constant high-level conversation? Can the silences be comfortable? If yes, it suggests that the initial anxiety, the need to perform, has dissipated. They found a natural rhythm.
And then, critically, before they say goodbye, they lock in the next step. Cementing the future.
Yeah, no vague, let's do this again sometime. They make a concrete plan. Next weekend, maybe we can go to the park or a cafe.
Why is that immediate planning so important?
Because it overcomes inertia. So many promising first connections fizzle out simply because no one takes the initiative to schedule the second meeting. Making a specific plan signals clear, mutual commitment to continuing the relationship. It makes it real.
And that brings us to Anna's final reflection, which she writes in her notebook. It really sums up the whole experience, doesn't it?
It does. She writes, friendship makes learning easier. When I speak with friends, I learn with my heart.
Learn with my heart. What do you think she means by that?
I think it means the emotional connection, the safety and validation she felt with Sarah actually made the cognitive process of practicing English less stressful, more meaningful, more embedded. When learning is tied to positive emotions and genuine connection, it sinks in deeper. It's not just intellectual, it's felt.
It really underscores that point we touched on earlier, the difference between just technical skill and emotional fluency.
Absolutely. Anna was worried about her English mistakes, her technical fluency. But her emotional fluency, her ability to share that vulnerability about Bella, to create that painting metaphor, to accept Sarah's encouragement that was far more powerful in building the connection. She strategically, maybe intuitively, used the most connective parts of herself.
So it wasn't just being herself in a passive way. It was actively deploying the parts of herself that build bridges.
Exactly. Technical skill is useful, sure, but emotional fluency, that's what actually fuels the connection and makes it stick. Anna succeeded because she made Sarah feel seen, understood, and valued. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the key strategies we saw in action. The architecture of this successful connection. It started with that deliberate preparation.
Yeah, slowing down speech to manage the interaction, the small gift acting as that initial investment signal.
Then it moves quickly into shared vulnerability, using the relocation stress as a bridge, sharing specific, memorable family details.
And demonstrating hobbies, not just talking about the painting, the cooking that created shared experiences, showing, not just telling.
And finally, it's solidified by becoming a genuine support system, offering that specific encouragement, the validation, making concrete future plans.
It really shows that the initial advice, just be yourself, is maybe incomplete. It's more like strategically deploy the right parts of yourself, the parts that connect.
Which brings us back to those two main pathways they used: family history and hobbies. Both involve sharing, maybe some vulnerability.
But they tap into different things, don't they? Family's about roots, history. Hobbies are about current passions, choices.
So, for our final thought today, something for you to chew on, based on how quickly and deeply Anna and Sarah seem to connect. If you had to pick just one conversational path to really accelerate trust with someone new.
Right. Just one focus for that crucial first deep conversation. Would you choose digging into the specifics of family history and roots? Or would you go with demonstrating and discussing a really specific, maybe niche hobby you're passionate about?
Which one do you think offers the deeper, faster route to that feeling Anna described, learning with your heart? And maybe more importantly, why?
Yeah, think about the kind of vulnerability each path requires. Is it riskier talking about family dynamics? Or maybe admitting you're still learning something in your hobby? Which one gives the other person more usable information to build future connection points?
Something to consider next time you're navigating that move from acquaintance to friend.
Definitely food for thought.
We'll see you next time for the deep dive.